Hey guys, finally going to talk about that one thing I said I was going to talk about between episode 8 and 9. So, it's been everyone's question as to exactly why I went into hiatus since I've been very broad in my answers in my community posts. That's what this video is going to be. And to answer the question, I'm going to give you all two reasons. First one is short school. I had my final exams coming up a few weeks after episode 5 and wanted to focus on those before I did anything major be about insanity after. The second and a longer one. The major issue that I held off talking about until this video. The situation that happened behind the scenes. The main reason why I held off talking about this is because I wanted to make sure I worded it right. So, strap in and let me explain. What happened was that I was in a server with some contestants and lore team members for Be Found Sandy. And one day in May, it was sometime after episode 5, I jokingly said the wrong thing to the wrong person when I didn't really understand what their past was. And it brought attention to a few people who did know what happened. And after a discussion, it resulted in me being removed from said server, and anyone else who was in the battle in Sandy, whether they were on the lore team or just a contestant, chose to leave the show. Now, I want to preface by saying, I did not have any malicious intent when making the joke. I mainly just did it for the laughs, but clearly it was not taken that way. But luckily, the person that I did make the joke to was not that worried about it, but did see that it was concerning that I did even make the joke anyway, which is completely valid. Sorry if I scared you all when I was explaining that. I did not mean for it to sound like I was confessing to doing a crime. No, the reason why I'm being very broad is because, one, everything was very personal, and two, I want to respect their privacy. Now, the reason why this is all a problem for the show, if you didn't realize, two of the people who left were lore team members. One of them were Liz, and then the other one were never shown on the channel, so I'll never say their name for their privacy, and 4 of them were contestants. What this meant was that, first of all, the bracket was missing a lot of things, and therefore it was messy. So I had to fix around things and gather new contestants, move contestants around. And the other thing, which I believe was more damaging, was the fact that the lore was completely messed up. Basically, Liz and the other person had very, very key roles in the original lore, which I might go over in a future video, obviously not saying certain things. So me and the remaining lore team had to basically rewrite everything past episode 5 to consider the fact that we couldn't gather replacements for Liz and the other person because we would have had to explain the entirety of the plotline to them. That, and it would have just taken way longer than to just rewrite everything. So we decided to change up the lore a little bit based on what we had and what we could do. But that's basically it. Everyone that chose to leave basically won't be used in future unless I really have to for Be Found on Sandy. But other than that, they are off the channel. To respect their wishes of not wanting to be associated anymore, which is completely fine with me. I'll respect their choices. So, with that being said, I guess I'll see you all in episode 9.